That was hot and spicy.
Oof. Poor Piccolo. Getting owned. Hey, what's up, pups? Welcome to another episode of the Power Up Podcast. 'Tis a podcast that talks about things pop culture-wise. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly, ranging from video games to anime. Real nice, Rick, turning our son into an Akira. Real nice. I liked how Jerry really emphasized Akira. But yes, we analyze pop culture ranging from all sorts of versions of entertainment. And we look at the good, the bad, the ugly, sometimes the spiritual. And laugh at what we find is funny. Find good stuff, that motivates us and, has us looking for the good things in life. And then, of course, the bad stuff. A lot of stuff apparently has happened over the weekend. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button, punch that thumbs up, and turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. Right now, we are on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, and X. And in the descriptions, at least on YouTube and Rumble, and I think on Kick, like the little, little bio area or whatever, you can find my other social medias listed there. And then on X, you can find them listed in my link tree. But yes, we got some articles here, and oh boy, there's a lot that I really couldn't decide what I wanted to talk about. So we'll just kind of go as we go, which is usually what I normally do anyway. So whatever. But the main one, Ubisoft just crushing it, because they said, you know what, our sales are doing amazing. They're doing great. And then boom, stock drops 12%. Womp womp. Now, I'm no expert in that sort of area and whatnot, but absolutely hilarious because, Ubisoft be Ubisoftin', just ruining everything that they get their greedy little hands on. We've got that. My boy Donald Trump unbanned on Twitch, apparently, and already live streaming rally speeches, I guess. Sweet. And then I guess now Xbox is... One of them said Xbox is reportedly exploring more new Game Passes, as if they've already haven't done enough bastardizing the Game Passes, which it's getting to the point where I'm just going to tell you guys, get your physical media, do whatever you can to actually have a copy of it, because these Game Passes are bullshit. And they're going to just keep racking up the price. And, of course, the one that gives you the best bang for your buck is going to be the most expensive one. So now they're doing more stuff. And they're like, the names are just terrible, and you don't know what you're supposedly getting until you really, look at it. And then, like I said, a lot of stuff, really caught my eye. Tenacious D, Kyle Gass now apparently deletes his apology. After wishing, that don't miss Trump next time, like a little bitch. SNK versus Capcom, censorship, retarded as well. Everyone busting a nut because a Japanese historian claiming Yasuke was a samurai. Apparently, that historian is a communist. Oops. But yeah, let's hop into it. What do we want to start off with? How about with my boy Donald Trump? That young fella. Coming from Niche Gamer. We've got Donald Trump unbanned on Twitch, already live streaming rally speeches again. So in a surprising reversal of policy, streaming platform Twitch has unbanned the official account of former U.S. President Donald Trump ahead of the incoming fall elections he's running in for re-election. Dude, Everyone is just knowing. Everyone is knowing that, him getting reelected is, I don't want to say in the bag because we know what they pulled last time. But if anything, if that did happen again, for sure hell will be risen. For sure. And, like Alex Jones says, and the New World Order and Deep State, they're freaking out. They are freaking out because they are losing power. Methinks that the demons behind them probably have some sinister plans planned as well. And who even knows if Joe Biden is alive? That's another thing, too. It's been 5 days now since he's been publicly seen. And then Kamala making that, oh, Joe, I can hear you on the call. It's like recorder. Yes, the old recorder. Or maybe everybody's now going back to analog, which, I mean, that's another argument in and of itself, especially music. A lot of people say analog music is still the best. But anyway, Trump was originally given a temporary suspension on his Twitch channel back in 2020. Well, it's only been 4 years for, quote, hateful conduct, when his last rally speech had the then-sitting president speaking on illegal immigration. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best, Trump said at the time. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. Yeah, he kind of did an umbrella summary of everything. I don't see what the BFD is. After January 6, 2021, riots on the U.S. Capitol, those rioters being led in by, the security and the people who work there. Heathens. As Norm Macdonald said, I walked through blood and bone in the streets of New York trying to find my brother. He was in northern Canada. I think that definitely January 6th worse. It's worth noting during his speech before the January 2021 riots, Trump actually said for his supporters to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Yes, we know this 1,000 times. Mainstream media are a bunch of buck-fighting liars, and they just ignore that completely. And never advocated for violence or rioting. With reinstating Trump's Twitch account, the platform said they'll continue to monitor any activity he make. I think you got more problems to worry about there, Twitch. Mainly, big streamers apparently talking to minors, and apparently knowing about it but not saying anything, which not good. Definitely not good there. So, maybe worrying about old Trump should be the least of your concerns at the moment. And any activity he makes, and he will enforce. And they will enforce their community guidelines, the one that constantly changes all the time, noting they don't have a, quote, public figure policy, so all channels adhere to the same guideline. Huh. Interesting. So since being reinstated on Twitch, Donald Trump's team has already streamed his latest rally speech in Grand Rapids, Michigan, as both Trump and his vice president nominee, J.D. Vance, are touring the country for support. Alongside his Twitch ban, Trump was banned on both Twitter, now X, and Facebook, though both platforms have since reinstated his accounts on November 2022 and January 2023, respectively. I didn't know about Facebook, but I hardly use Facebook anymore anyway. We reinstated former President Trump's channel, the platform said in a statement via Rod Breslau. Twitch? Which platform? Twitch? Facebook? X? I'm assuming it's Twitch. Rod. We believe there is value in hearing from presidential nominees directly when possible. Trump is now the official Republican nominee for U.S. president. I'm going to assume it's Twitch because, you got Zuckerberg for Facebook. Or did he, sell it but still own something? See, I don't know about that because I really don't give a crap about those people because they're scum. But there you go. Trump slowly getting back all of the stuff that he was banned off of. Apparently, getting shot at does that sort of stuff for you, which sadly should have never happened to begin with anyway, which sadly should never have happened. I want to make sure I'm wording that right. It was bad, is what I'm trying to get at. Then of course, you have the weirdos out there. They're like, Kyle Gass and Tenacious D and all them stuff. Which, dude, keep that shit to yourself. The internet does not need to be your damn diary. Like, come on, man. Like, worst comes to worst. Like, if you're around like your group of friends or whatever, I don't give a shit what you say. But geez, all these people have to like make the internet their public diary. Bunch of weirdos. All I can say is oh no, is it not? What? No, my clips aren't playing. What the F, David Blaine? Really? Really, Rumble? I've been having trouble. We're on Rumble Studios, and I've already emailed them that last fetch 12 minutes ago. I barely got my intro played. Dude, come on. Well, so far, rip me pulling video clips at funny moments, because apparently Rumble Studios dropping the ball big time. But anywho, let's move on to something else. Let's move on to something I wish I could say positive, but it's not, because it's The Acolyte. So The Acolyte, this comes from Bounding into Comics, by the way. The Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland says fans who want a second season should encourage your friends to watch the show. Recommends telling skeptics, don't pay attention to the Internet Movie Database scores. I'm going to do the exact opposite. I'm going to encourage my friends not to watch the show and to highly pay attention to the IMDb score. Because I think it'd be funny. Because the show is hot garbage. With Amanda Stenberg, who apparently can only... whose facial range consists of that of a wooden plank. And the only time you can actually see a facial sort of change takes place in a what was that? It was her, right, with the stupid TikTok garbage thing or something. So with the disastrous Star Wars series feature still uncertain, showrunner Leslie Headland says the online support actually oh yeah, I forgot to pop out. Dude, Kick. I need to like bitch at Kick too. On X. I get these retarded and annoying spam bots every time popping in going like, I noticed you're not affiliated or partner yet. And add me on Discord and I'll get you to 100 followers or check out my artwork. It's like, dude, oh my gosh. Like, piss off. Them demons, man. Anyway, Headline issued her internet calls to arm while speaking to Collider's Maggie Lovett. Dude, how many times has she, does she only talk to this person? Because I feel like I've seen that name pop up so many times when she has to express and explain each episode, because heaven forbid the episode can explain itself. Heaven forbid that can take place. So once again, she's talking to this person, asked by her host if there was anything fans could do to help sway the minds at Disney to renew the Acolyte. The showrunner asserted, truly, any online support and love you can send the show. But anything that criticizes the show, is, review bombing, or you ignore them completely, like you said in past interviews. It's a little tricky because of the way that the internet works. Okay. But if you enjoyed the show and you want to see more of the story, any support that you can give the show on social media platforms would be super helpful. Can you explain what's tricky about it, Leslie? I'd love to know. Sending love to the cast, too. You've seen what Hayden Christensen went through. He's getting the love now, but give the love now if you enjoyed the performance. What is she talking about? Like when, like in Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith, how they like commented, like people made fun of his acting or something? That was like years ago. I thought his facial expressions were amazing. Like there's someone that can actually showcase just with, his eyes and his facial features and stuff like that. Amandla should have watched those again. Hell, watch the original. Hell, just don't even watch the Disney stuff. See, there's Disney and then there's, Walt Disney. Walt Disney was awesome. Disney is DEI bullshit. That's what you got to watch out for. You got to make sure you're labeling the two because you have Disney Star Wars and then there's Star Wars. That's kind of how I've slowly become to like separate the two. You can tell when the bullshit started happening and the weeds started infesting. But again, I'm not like deep into the Star Wars history. Even if you were kind of like whatever on the show, if you enjoyed the performance, get on the social media or get on their social media. I thought that would have been funny. Get on the social media. Oh, just get on it. The social media. Let them know that you love them or that you support them or that the performances were great. Or how about you let them get criticism as well? Because that's kind of how you adapt and grow. Not everything will be negative criticism. See, just doing this creates a giant echo chamber. By all means, I've listened to the opposite side. Trust me. You might say, for me at least, like Greg, after a while, it's like you don't even want to listen to him. And it's like, well, that's true because you know what they're going to say. It's the same stupid shit over and over and over again, just worded differently. And their tricks and their lies and all that stuff. So we're getting to a point now where it's don't even like humor them, some people want to reach across the aisle to understand what they're talking about. They've made it perfectly clear. Like there's absolutely nothing else you need to get from them. They're garbage people. They're garbage. They're either truly garbage or they are brainwashed sheep. Those could possibly be saved. What up, Scotty? I retweeted the stream on Twitter. Ah, thanks, guy. Thanks there, guy. Yeah, I'm really bad at like posting all the links and stuff. Mostly because when I get off like the 9 to 5er, it's usually late and I always try to decompress from that to get ready for this. And it's like, it just feels like I could get better on that. I need to get my act together on that, push through that. But what up, Scotty? Let's see. A lot of my work has been word of mouth, said the showrunner. And we were talking about the review bombing. Look at that right there. Or wait a minute. We're skipping ahead, but we're not missing that much. Just that you once again to recommend, encourage your friend to watch the show. A lot of my work has been word of mouth, said the showrunner. Sure it has. We were talking about the review bombing, so just telling people don't pay attention to the IMDb score. Then who do we pay attention to? Like seriously, the whole point of critics is supposed to be that they're supposedly supposed to be unbiased enough, that we could take their word for it, that, they've, your Siskel and Ebert sort of thing, that they're hopefully not biased and stuff. But now it's become the point where even that is not the case. It has to be positive criticism or it's review bombing. Or they're hateful bigots and racists and XYZ. Because they redefine the definition every time to be broader and broader and broader so that they can justify to themselves that, well, I'm not the garbage person. They are. I'm not the racist. They are. Now, where's that black person that I can put in to replace this ginger? My people. Gingers are the most oppressed in Hollywood. I mean, our roles get whitewashed or blackwashed all over the place. Rip. But I think we're interested in that. It kind of seems that it's sort of basic. But I think what's interesting is that nowadays, if you like a show, you're very rarely going to go online and be like, I like this show. What is she talking about? Oh yeah, they made April black again in the new TMNT thing happening. My people, no. Why can't us Irish folk just live in peace? Actually, I'm Dutch. A little bit of Irish, but I'm mostly Dutch. Irish, Dutch, and slight German. You watch it, you move on. Maybe you mention, dude. The self awareness of Leslie is unbelievable. What is she talking about? You very rarely go online and be like, I like this show. You're literally telling people to go online and say that, but it's a rare occasion, apparently, according to her. Oh my gosh, this makes absolutely no sense. You watch it, you move on. Maybe you mention it to somebody over dinner and be like, "Oh, I just binge watched this show. It was fun. Lee Jung Jae was an awesome actor." She further explained. It usually comes up that way, as opposed to going online and saying, "I love this show." So if you did love the show, then pivot and be appreciative. Dude, I've seen plenty of people literally like watch an anime, for example, and go, "This is a good show" online. What is she talking about? Oh my gosh. This is what happens when you just create an echo chamber. She has no idea what the hell she's talking about, let alone anything about Star Wars. And this is coming from someone who's not deep in the Star Wars lore, okay? Ginger cleansing in media is disgusting. I know. It hurts me down, I would say, my soul, but apparently I don't have one, which is kind of true. See, we just capture souls from everybody else and harness them and harvest them until they're useless to us, and then we discard them. Curiously, with Headland's interview, it appears that asking fans to help save a franchise television entry from its own poor performance has become the standard operating procedure for the overall Star Wars universe. Previously, Obi-Wan Kenobi star Ewan, is it just Ian or is it actually Ewan or Awen? I thought it was just Ian McGregor. Is like the W silent? Whatever, I don't care. Told fans that should they wish to see him return for another solo adventure, they could help make it happen by directly contacting Disney and express their interest in a second season. Oh, really? Do you just happen to have Disney's phone number on hand? Post it out there and I'll call Disney. Can everyone write to Disney? The actor asked attendees of his 2024 MegaCon Orlando speaking panel. I'll give you some emails at the end. Just say, "Dear Disney, let's have another. Let's have a bit more of Obi-Wan Kenobi, please." Dude, did he actually give out those emails? Oh, that would have been so amazing if he did. Unfortunately for Leslie, given the series' abysmal ratings, it's unlikely that any amount of online hashtag or letter writing campaigns will sway Disney's decision in greenlighting another season of The Acolyte. However, that does not mean Osha and... Is it Keemir? I'm just going to call him Queermere. Queermere have no chance of returning, period. After all, as evidenced by the fact that Rey is set to receive her own cinematic trilogy, Disney is not averse to doubling down on those aspects of the franchise canon that most fans could do without. To that end, as noted above, whether or not The Acolyte receives a second season is currently up in the air. It'd be up in the air. Well, there you go. There is an article explaining the delusion of Leslie Headland, who says, "Oh, social media apparently doesn't work, but also use social media to positive bomb a very shit series because apparently no one sits at the dinner table. Like, it's just constant blah, 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 you know? Insane. It's insane. What are you, insane? Yes. Okie doke. All right, we did Trump. Well, not, you know what I mean. Makes me think of the Boondock Saints, that Dick riding Obama song. Now I'm Dick riding Obama. All right. Xbox is reportedly exploring more new Game Passes tiers, as if we didn't have enough to go off of, including a cloud-only option and possibly a family membership. So now they're reportedly exploring the possibility of introducing more new game tier passes, because that's what everyone's been asking. Those Game Passes, give us more. It's also tiresome. In good news, though, my brother was kind enough to do two things: get you a new Switch OLED and a gift card, which helped me buy a game that was on sale. Nice. Yeah, I've got the OG Switch, not the Lite or anything like that, just so I can stream. So according to Windows Central sources, these include cloud-only and ad-supported tiers. Oh, gosh. You know, dude, I'm actually genuinely curious how they're going to throw ads in. Like, are you just going to be gaming from, like, the Game Pass, the catalog list, playing a game, and then all of a sudden the game stops and an ad plays? Dude, this sounds awful. And potentially the return of a family subscription option. Remember back in the day where it was literally just Xbox Live and PlayStation Network? Xbox Live, you paid. PlayStation Network, you didn't. I miss those days. The pain in the ass part, however, was moving the games onto there. It seriously sucked. Oof. Microsoft is reportedly working towards a cloud-only Game Pass tier that would be relatively cheap and accessible, as users wouldn't need to own a console. Wait, is that the... isn't NVIDIA doing something like that? Is that what they're talking about? I remember seeing that. Dude, guys, just physically get the game. Or buy it digitally and then emulate the shit out of it. Like, just have a copy of the game in hand. Like, these Game Pass tiers, they're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep doing this till the only good tier is the most expensive one. And because that's going to be the only way you can get, everything that you want from it, they're just going to keep hiking the prices. Oh, my gosh. It's claimed that subscribers to this tier would also be able to purchase digital games. Wait a minute. Purchase... Is this... Wait. Which would tie in with Microsoft's plan to let players stream titles they own through Xbox. It is rather Xbox. I mean, it's a brick now, right? So technically it is a block. The Xbox Cloud Gaming. Doesn't this make this sound like that certain tiers you're not going to be able to buy any games unless you upgrade it? I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm going to give this is Video Game Chronicle, by the way. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But if there's legitimately a tier that's just like you can't buy any digital games, fuck that. So Windows Central also claimed to have heard very tentative rumors that the Xbox Game Pass Friends and Family plan could return in some form. Testing of family membership, which allowed 5 people to access a single subscription of $25, a price considered to be too generous by publishers. Of course they would say, it needs to be more. Take place across 8 countries between the summer of 22 and 23. And while Microsoft previously said it was exploring the possibility of offering access to Game Pass in exchange for viewing advertisements. Oh, I think that's what they were... No, because that's what I was talking about earlier, but I was also talking about the purchased digital games. Windows Central claimed the company isn't currently actively working towards an ad-based subscription tier. X to doubt on that. Earlier this month, Microsoft raised Xbox Game Pass prices and announced plans to introduce a new standard. Yeah, not standard subscription, ultimate subscription, family and friends tier. Like, how many damn tiers are you going to make? Oh my gosh. Yeah, standard tier subscription or standard subscription tier. Oh my gosh. Dude, the dyslexia. It's awful. It is absolutely destroying me right now. That doesn't include day one releases. Gay. Yeah, and then they're like, oh, but go digital though, because then we'll give you early access. Oh, can't go early access? Get you got to upgrade to that what ultimate tier or whatever. Modern Warfare 3 will reportedly join Game Pass for console and PC this week, while Black Ops 6 will be the first Call of Duty title to launch on the subscription service on day one when it's released October 25th, 2024. Remember the days of Xbox Live, Halcon days of old, where people were on the same page about video games? Now it just sucks. Family One worked for the Switch because it has families built in mind, but Xbox not so much, usually just dudes with that one. Yeah. All of this makes no sense. Like, honestly, with a friends and family plan, I understand what they're getting at, but who stays in, like, the lobbies anymore? Especially if you have, like, a team that you play with or your group of friends all the time. Like, who stays in there? You're literally just going to go into a private chat, like Discord or something like that. Well, there you guys go. If you weren't satisfied with Xbox doing all this Game Pass update tiers, now you got a couple more coming your way. All right. So the rest of kind of what like captured my interest were over on that park place. We're saving the Ubisoft stock plummet one till kind of towards the end, right there. Here we go. Let's check out this Tenacious D one. That looks like a very sad, depressed Santa. So Tenacious D band member Kyle Gass deletes apology after wishing don't miss Trump next time. So he's apparently deleted his apology for encouraging a possible second assassination attempt against President Donald Trump by wishing don't miss Trump next time. During a show in Sydney, Australia, as part of the band's Spicy Meatball Tour, the band celebrated Gass's birthday. Jack Black sang happy birthday. Birthday cake was delivered to him with a man in a robot costume. And then he gets told to make a wish, states, don't miss Trump next time. Much of the crowd begins laughing and chuckling, depending on which video you watch. One of them wasn't a whole lot of people laughing. Another one was like, might have been one of them, the one up close, like up front, that one sounded louder and it sounded like a lot more people were laughing. But back here, like this one right here, the one that was rather far away, there wasn't actually a whole lot of people laughing. So another angle of another angle right there. Switch needs to fix the terrible eShop. I found a hyper saturation of AI art generated games, especially those with the E and H words that anyone at the age of 13 and 16 can see. Uh-oh. So Gass's comments came in the wake. Okay, it's literally reiterating kind of what we know and I've talked about in past shows. Rest in peace, Corey. So here's his apology he made on Instagram, July 16th. So the line I improvised on stage Sunday night in Sydney was highly inappropriate, dangerous, and a terrible mistake. I don't condone violence of any kind in any form against anyone. What happened was a tragedy, and I'm incredibly sorry for my severe lack of judgment. I profoundly apologize to those I've let down and truly regret any pain I've caused. Now, there was, and maybe they'll get to it, but the apology has since been deleted from its Instagram account. There are two recent posts from July 18th and July 19th. However, the next public post is from May 31st. The post with the apology is no longer on his page. So it's unclear why he deleted the apology. However, the sincerity of the apology was immediately questioned. Yes, I was the same. Rob Province speculated the apology was an attempt to prevent the tour from being canceled. Yeah, this is the guy talking about this. He explains people who have never worked a concert venue before. So saying something like this could essentially get them about 10,000 calls and texts from all concert venues they booked, canceling the reservation because they made that statement. You see, these places have to carry insurance to cover any mass casualty events. Some places, it's literally the law to have it, to have a certain level of coverage. It's getting way more unbearable, but yeah, I was shocked about Donald getting shot at. Well, he got shot at, and he did get shot right in the ear. Yeah. I think it's still crazy. Definitely an act of God of him turning his head, because think about this. So people are giving it, like, to me, people are giving this shooter too much credit. I personally believe there's 2 shooters that were involved, but the one that came straight across. So his head was literally turned this way when the guy pulled the trigger, right? Because it's not like he pulled the trigger, the bullet came, and then he turned his head and then gets clipped, right? Pretty sure that's not how that works. It's kind of like his head was lined up and was staying there for a while when the guy pulled the trigger, and then literally right as he pulled the trigger, like he had to have turned his head to then whooshing, like go past. Like that's kind of what I was thinking about. By no means am I like, a firearms expert, but I'm pretty sure that's how that worked, because it's not like, not in the movies where you pull the trigger and then you see the guy react to like zip out of the way. Like the guy would be dead. Like you literally have to do that before he's pulling the trigger or as he is to like have it. At least that's what I'm thinking. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I just think it's insane. Truly an act of God for him to like be turning his head like that. Truly insane. Like definitely a historical like moment. Something like we'll all never forget. I mean, some people more than others because they hate him. Both of them aren't rock stars they used to be. Now they're just tools of Hollywood Jack, especially. Any soul he had is long gone. Yeah. What's hilarious is a lot of these people that are now woke, like back in the day, they were saying this exact same shit that they're criticizing the right and this stuff to do. Guy on the rooftop with even not clarity. Shot still mixed. Oh, hey, Chaos Smash, what's up? Over on YouTube? No, definitely divine intervention. I truly believe that. Especially that one guy. I know a lot of people put up that one guy, that one person who said he had a dream and he saw pretty much what he described as what happened with Trump. That one's very interesting. That one you need to test the spirits, though, if we're basing off of scripture. Because also in Acts, there was a possessed girl who could tell who had clairvoyance. She could tell the future, or at least appear to be telling the future, because the demon inside of her, they communicate with one another. They know all this stuff. Interesting, but you got to be careful with those guys too, because there's, especially anybody who has like a new revelation or something like that. I don't know. Those people that call themselves prophet, again, test the spirits. You got to be very careful with those people, especially if they claim to really follow the Bible. Because in the Bible, if the prophet said God's going to do this and then he didn't do it, you stone him to death. Wha-bam. Gonzos. People meme that Shinzo Abe spoke to Donald, which got his head to turn, thus dodging death. Maybe it was both God and Shinzo Abe or Abe. I'm getting distracted here. But anyway, so this guy goes on to talk about like, they're saying stuff like this and insurance is involved. And what do you think will happen the second Jack Black and company said this? Threat levels went off the charts, phone calls to the concert venues, texts, emails, social media posts. All hell broke loose, and there was no way in fuck these venues could afford the level of security these insurers were now wanting, or could afford the new insurance bill they were going to be asked to pay. So no, Jack Black's heart didn't magically grow 3 sizes that day. He didn't have any self-reflection. He didn't suddenly have a moral compass. He got his tour canceled, lost money, won't be getting on a stage on the good weed and shrooms and jamming with his buddy for millions of dollars and fans fanning his ego. Shinzo Abe's spirit. Turn your head, you fucking cracker. What do you guys make of Kyle Gass deleting his apology? I don't know. They can reap the seeds that they sow. That is the face of someone regretting life. Reap the seeds you sow, as far as I'm concerned. You done goofed. The Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland explains why she views the Sith villain as an avatar for herself. Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah, I definitely want to read this one. Let's real quick look into the trigger warnings and censored post for SNK versus Capcom, SVC Chaos. So a poster has been censored, as we can see right here. So they've cut off that down there. And then we have no cleavage. So a poster has been censored and a trigger warning has been added to the recently released SNK versus Capcom CVS Chaos, which is a remaster of the 2003 arcade games. Dude, look at these guys. I said this before. They're doing it with Hollywood. Now they're doing it with video games. They're going to be bastardizing all of these games. They're going to be censoring it, if at the very least throwing up these trigger warnings, which is really a bad advertisement thing because they're trying to come off like, we know what we did in the past was wrong, but now we're fixing some grave injustice. But that's a terrible advertisement campaign method because to me, it's going, oh, you're ashamed that you made a game that you were clearly fine with years ago? Well, I'm not going to buy this one then. I like to think he said, Donald-san, move. Donald-san, move. Move. Oh my gosh, this BS. I was looking forward to this game. Capcom are cowards. They are. Capcom, which is sad, because Capcom is... Really, any company back in the day made some solid games. But now they're just turning into a bunch of bitches. So, Yogensha revealed that a trigger warning was added to the game, shared it on X. The product aims to faithfully recreate the content of the original game at the time of release in 2023. Oh my gosh, is this game from the future? Holy crap. As much as possible. Therefore, the content of this game does not represent the ideals of our company, but is provided as is, respecting the original intent of the game, and is not intended to promote or attack any particular ideology or group. This right here, that right there, says we're ashamed of the game we made. I hate that the new heads feel shame with what came before. SVC Chaos is made in-house by SNK, but Capcom may have had some sway in this. It's probably, yeah. SNK would have never censored this. Dude, just maim this crap. Just maim this. Fuck them. Dude, the only way these companies are going to learn is if they lose money. So clearly don't buy it. And if you want to make sure that they, don't get your money and lose money, up to you. Sail the 7 seas. I don't care. Like what Kabruta says. You got to pay, tell these companies what's up by speaking with your wallet. Don't buy this crap. So on top of the trigger warning, the publisher also censored a poster for the game. The poster covers up cleavage of Fatal Fury. RIP. I played that series. And the King of Monsters is actually a good game, but this one's talking about the King of Fighters. Shinryu or Shinryu. Apparently apparently my Duolingo is not helping me with Japanese. It also crops out Goddess Athena Asamiya, who is wearing a bikini. This censorship occurs at the end of the English language trailer of the game. Side by side of the two posters can be seen below, with YouTuber Vara Dark questioning a trigger warning, alongside censoring key artwork. We saw a very similar warning on the Tomb Raider collection where they promised to not censor content, yet they did. Which I find interesting, because couldn't they get sued? Couldn't it be possible that a lawsuit could be filed with them for false advertisement or something like that? Because they straight up said, we're not touching this. Then they did. Then they got caught on it. And then they said, oh, when we were updating stuff, it affected the posters. We just missed it. Then they put it back in, but then they added stuff to it. So it's not the original. Shiranui? Yeah, it's probably what it should have been. Shiranui. Shiranui. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't break that up. Could have gotten that. But anyway. So Code Mystics, the game developer, made it clear on X that they did not censor any game content. Bullshit. Our CM Disney responding to forum posting this week. Code Mystics also shared in a communication with Cabrutus Rambo, the founder of Sweet Baby Inc. detected Steam curator list, that it was not involved in censoring the poster and had nothing to do with the trigger warning. The company informed Cabrutus Rambo, we have no involvement nor insight into marketing. Company reiterated this on X while also revealing they did receive permission to make the trigger warning skippable. Then why have it at all? Oh my gosh. This is like the retarded argument that people made for, what was it called? Starfield. Well, it defaults to the normal. Doesn't make it, it's not like a big deal in the game. It doesn't affect the story. Oh, if it doesn't affect anything, then it never should have been in there in the first place. But it is. Why? To be frank, I like to buy it for the online mode, but I'm just extremely conflicted. I hardly play games online in terms of like it's like fighter games or Fighter Z, where do I feel like I want to play like online people and fight against them? Not really. Code Mystics wrote, honestly, we weren't told what it's specifically referring to, but the good news is when we were asked to add it, we got permission to make the disclaimer. It is a schemer. It's a scheme. Disclaimer and logos skippable once background loading is complete, so you can now get them to the main menu faster because of this. Dude, then why even have it in there? Oh my gosh. Furthermore, they clarified the business arrangement that they have with the publisher of the game, which is listed as SNK Corporation on Steam. The company explained on X, the publisher, as owner of the IP, hire the devs, us. The publisher signs off on marketing. We as devs have never touched nor often never have even seen the marketing in advance on any game we've worked on, ever. So while Code Mystic denies being involved with the censoring of the poster, as well as the inclusion of the trigger warning, there's still a question as to who did indeed have the trigger warning placed in the game and censored the poster. Or more, Grumps told us, told by whom? I'm assuming that's what's supposed to say. Told by whom? Capcom or SNK? And this news came out the same day Biden announced he's stepping down. Yeah. The question is he still alive? Better to play with friends than a bunch of sweaty people. True. So Capcom is most likely the culprit, given its localization team made it clear it's fully embraced woke ideology in a lengthy post to X back in April. And we've read this. It's that, yeah, it's this crap. Yeah, I'm going to skip this because I've read all of this before. So pretty much, yeah. So we still don't have an answer of who was involved in this. Capcom, probably. It better be Capcom. I hope so. In terms of knowing who the scumbags are. Okay, we'll read this one, and then we'll get to Ubisoft here. All right. Japanese historian claiming Yasuke was a samurai exposed as a communist. Dude, it's all the same. All the same. Communism, socialist, woke. They all stem from the same weed. Oh my gosh. So Japanese historian Yu Hirayama, who claims that Yasuke was a samurai, has been revealed to be a former member of the Japanese Communist Party. Hirayama made his claim. Shouldn't you be at least be honorific, Hirayama-san? Made his claim on X, where he wrote, "It seems like there's a lot of talk about Yasuke, a black man who served Oda Nobunaga. There are very few historical documents about him." All right, you've already lost the argument. You've already lost the argument. How can you say... How do you start off by going, there's very few historical documents about him, but there's no doubt that he was a samurai. So trust me, bro, I'm a historian who served Nobunaga. Regardless of one's social status, if one's master promoted one to the rank of samurai, one could become one in medieval warring state society. That doesn't explain anything. He then shared his explanation. "I can say this because the historical document stated that 1, Nobunaga gave him a stipend. That means nothing. Doesn't stipend means like he was just given some money?" Said historian is a communist as well. This Hirayama doesn't deserve honorifics. I know. But I'm cool. It's like SpongeBob. I'm cool. It just shows that hyper-realistic photo of him. He was given a house, again, means nothing. And 3, he was given a sword. What kind of sword? A lot of people are pointing out the fact that a katana, different length than like a wakizashi. Come on now. From there, he elaborated, being given a stipend and serving Nobunaga closely fulfills the important requirements of a, quote, contract between master and servant, and agreement to receive a stipend. It is also important that he was allowed to carry a sword, so he was a two-sworder servant. How? A sword, singular. Two-sworded servant. Literally in the same sentence. Which one is it? It's one or the other. It's either he carries swords, meaning the wakizashi and the katana, or he carried a sword from, a todachi or a wakizashi or a frickin' katana. Oh. So he was a two. Look, I'm no Japanese expert. I took Japanese, history and culture class back in college. Learned as much as I could, but this makes no sense. Also, we've read on the show in the past, someone literally went to the historic records and looked up Yasuke information. And hardly anything. Hardly nothing. In fact, it showed that he was treated like absolute garbage. Given a sword in his neck. Well, I mean, he did surrender. He did not commit seppuku. And if he was given a house, there's no room for doubt. Well, yeah, there is. There's absolutely room for doubt. Because 1, you said he carried a sword, and then and then immediately said he's a two-sworded servant. Chaos Master, Lord, give me strength. Lord, steady my hand. So he continued, he was probably a slave until Nobunaga took over the missionary slave, but due to the above 1 and 3, he probably became a samurai of his own volition. Wait, what? So he just said, well, I got all this stuff. I guess I'm a samurai. What? He concluded his assertions by attempting to counter-argument that he could not be a samurai given his life was spared, and he was returned to the church by a retainer of Akechi Mitsuhide. Hirayama wrote, during the Honnoji incident, Akechi's side did not kill Yasuke because he was an animal or not Japanese, but that was only because Akechi did not recognize Yasuke as a samurai, probably because he had discriminatory feelings. Okay, that makes no sense. Why does that make no sense? is because if this guy is something that Japanese people never saw before, was not of the norm, was not common, word about this dude would spread everywhere. And you would think that if word spread up around, like, hey, there's this like guy whose skin is very dark and black, and Nobunaga like told him to like wash it just to make sure that he wasn't just really dirty. You think maybe the title of samurai would have gone around with him? But nope, it's just because Akechi was discriminatory. Apparently, it's fine when Nobunaga did it, but not Akechi. At that time, it was common for a master to promote someone of low status to a samurai. To begin with, there's a good explanation at Hideyoshi. In a subsequent post, Hirayama would also address criticism stemming from the fact that Yasuke never had a surname or family name and thus could not be a samurai. Surnames, meaning family names and samurai status. Some have criticized the fact that they were not samurai because they did not have a surname. Indeed, the presence or absence of a surname family name is a very important point of contention. However, during the Sengoku period, there were people who are of samurai status even without a name. Let me introduce the most easily understandable example. The example better be an actual name of like the person that you're going to list. Okay, so he did. So he then shared in August 1567, Takeda Shengen ordered his clan, hereditary retainers, local lords and vassals of local lords in Kai Shinano and western Kozuke to submit petitions. This is the famous Ikushima Yashishima Shrine petition, the Shomonogo petition. Among them in a petition signed jointly by local lords, Koizumi Kisensei, or Sai, Shigen, oh my gosh, Shigenaga, oh my gosh, rip me. We're just gonna skip this because I'm butchering those names, probably not doing them justice. And my OCD wants me to get it correct, but we'll be here forever. Okay, so signed jointly. So all these people signed, and then a petition signed jointly by Koizumi's vassals. The petition, which has an invoice with the words Kami Koizumi's vassals, is signed jointly by 8 Koizumi vassals. Geez, how many times are they going to say Koizumi's vassals? But it is written Hatsuke, blood seal, Sojiro, blood seal, Shiroyomon, blood seal, Yarokuro, blood seal. Okay, a lot of blood seals happening. And all these other stuff. And we can see that none of them have a family name or signature, and only a blood seal is affixed. He continued, so, are they not of samurai status? No, I don't know. As they are vassals of the local lord Koizumi Shigenaga, I think there is no doubt that they are samurai status. I think they just have not yet been bestowed with a surname, have received a surname. There are people called Tonohara and are of a village samurai status with respectful addresses of Tono and Kata in the village. Is there historical records of these people being stated of samurai status? I mean, you just listed them, but is there like, I'm assuming you're getting this from the actual historical record? Anyway, it is believed that they were several stages in the rise from peasant status to samurai status, and one could not rise to the top in one leap. He elaborated first at the discretion of their lord. One was placed at the bottom of the samurai hierarchy. By accumulating achievements, one status rose. You often hear stories of lords giving their surnames or giving one character, part of their name, to their lords, but this was the result of their devotion to loyalty. By the way, speaking of Crapcom, the teaser for Terry Bogard as a guest character in Street Fighter VI has pissed off Japanese fans. You can find it in an article on Sankaku Complex. Capcom just batting 300, apparently. This guy should be deported. So he then wrote, "It is unusual for a black person to be given the name Yasuke by Nobunaga himself, along with other treatments he received. That is why Oda Useichi recorded it as Nobunaga Koki, excuse me, Koki, and probably also wrote about it in Iatada Nikki because it was a well-known story at the time. However, while Yasuke's treatment could have improved after that, the fact that he was by Nobunaga's side until the Hanoji incident is the best evidence of this. I don't think he reached the point of being given a surname. However, it is simplistic to say that he was not a samurai just because he didn't. It is simplistic to say that he was not a samurai just because he did not have a surname. Since he was given a gift of a noshi wrapped around his scabbard, he was treated as a warrior. Kojiki Ryuen clearly states that only warriors can be given this rate. This is the first time I've ever heard of this noshi being wrapped around his scabbard. This is the very first time I've heard this. He then concluded the thread. Just to be sure, I'll add a note. Some people use Miura Anji as an example, but when exactly was William Adams allowed to use the name Miura Anji? Or Anjin, excuse me. It couldn't have been right after Tokugawa Ieyasu met with him. He was also given the surname, family name, in recognition of his loyalty. It wasn't sudden. Everyone, please look carefully into this. Oh my gosh. So after all that, and his comment went viral, and everyone's like, "Oh, look at the people cope and see." It was revealed that he's a former member of the Japanese Communist Party and appears to be adherent to communist ideology. So there's been a lot of talk about the state of the Japanese Communist Party. Apparently, he posted this in January 2024. Hasn't changed at all since the end of the Showa era. When I was a member in the early Hiei-cia era? Or Heisei era. Anyway, Miyamoto Kenji was in power. During my time, I remember Iri Kasutomo being expelled for criticizing Miyamoto Kenji, but I wonder how long they intend to hold on to the Lenin's unique organizational theory, which sought to build a party under Russia's unique autocratic regime as a golden rule. This time in particular, I think the situation is even worse than it was in the Showa era. The expulsion of Shimoseto Masaki in the Heisei era was also truly terrible. And then he appeared to announce his exit from the party. So he felt that it's come to the end. The ghost of Stalinism hung over the party leadership, and a Stalinist female party leader appeared with a terrifying speech. I have no hope for anything anymore. Farewell, Japanese Communist Party. All right, so he's pretty much Heisei. You had it correct on the second time. Heisei. Yep. Just got to practice more. Anyway. So as noted by historian Anna Sofia, oh my gosh, a board member of the board of the Powell. Oh my gosh, this is like my worst nightmare. There's all of these names just doing terrible. Communists use history to impose their ideology. Now we're getting really deep into this. Oh my gosh. So as soon as the Bolsheviks came in power in Russia in 1917, history as the science of the past was destroyed. It becomes a political tool totally controlled by the communist authorities and an instrument of communist propaganda. History was completely subordinated to Marxist-Leninist ideology, and it was the Communist Party that always decided which interpretation of that ideology was correct. This made it possible to constantly manipulate and rewrite history according to the ever-changing needs and political sensitivities of the Soviet regime at a given point in time. The result was lies and manipulation on a mass scale. So on top of him being Hiroyama being a communist, another ex-user shared that he's a member of the Pony Canyon and specifically its Area Alliance Department, which according to the company embraces the mission of revitalizing regions, energizing Japan through the power of entertainment. Our primary focus lies in regional revitalization and branding, utilizing our proficiency in planning, producing, and promoting entertainment content through innovative approaches. We showcase the distinctive charm of local areas while fostering sustainable community development. My gosh, holy crap, this just keeps going on forever. This is a long article. Okay, so the new historian saying Yasuke is a samurai is Yu Hiroyama. He is partnered with Pony Canyon, or Canyon, that we just read about. And apparently it's also a PR media trying to globalize to the West. So Pony Canyon's first year of globalization, and has met with U.S. music industry members and U.S. press to help them with the expansion of their newly established North American branch for music and anime distribution. It always happens when Japan offers a branch in California. Very true. There you go. Also, holy shit, Park Place. They really put everything in the article. Well, you can't blame them for being thorough. My goodness. So Pony Canyon's U.S. distribution is handled by Rice Stuff Media, which is a subsidiary of Crunchyroll, which is owned by Sony Pictures. And Sony... There it is. Now we know why this guy is pushing the narrative that Yasuke was a samurai. It's Sony in disguise. There you go. I mean, I'm convinced. This guy truly found out. Oh, and he has Quiet from Metal Gear Solid 5. Very nice. Wow. This guy went ham. Oh, here you go. So MUFG, or MUFJ, which is lending money to Fuji Media Holdings, which owns Pony Canyon, who is promoting this guy. As a historian, promoting Yasuke was a historical samurai for Ubisoft Assassin's Creed. It's majority owned by none other than BlackRock, Vanguard, and Goldman Sachs. There you go. All right. I mean, that pretty much explains it all. Yeah, that's pretty much the end. Thorough is good, maybe not for me. Again, this is how on the spot I do it, because I don't pre-look over these articles. I try not to. So I don't know if they're going to be super short, super long. But there you go. I'm convinced. Yeah. Yeah. If all these peoples are truly connected, like you can see it right here, then yeah, that definitely explains a lot. But anywho, let's get... even with all that, our boy Ubisoft, their stocks plummets 12%, despite exceeding sales targets. Womp, womp, womp. Ubisoft stocks plummeted 12% in the past 5 days following the company's most recent earning reports that revealed it had exceeded sales targets for its first financial quarter of the year. So Yahoo Finance reports that the Ubisoft stock fell 12.42% in the last 5 days following Ubisoft's first quarter report on July 18th. In fact, the stock is down 14.73% for the year so far. If you go back an entire year, the stock is down 31.53%. And then if you go back 5 years, 74.73%. Oh my goodness gracious. So the big dip seen in the chart above came in the wake of Ubisoft reporting that its net booking hit $290.0 million or $315.76 million. This exceeds the company's prediction of $299 million. Can we have the same good news this week? Because it's been nothing but bad news these past week. Don't worry, folks. I will find some good news. I just think this is... I mean, if you don't like Ubisoft, this is great news. Because the co-founder touted the net booking, saying, in a selective market, we delivered a solid start to the year with net bookings above target, reaffirming that we are on the right track. The quarter Noble saw the launch of X Defiant that is off to an encouraging start as we continue to grow the audience at a steady pace and plan a quarterly roadmap of content that will allow us to firmly establish the game over time. And then he continues that... We also held Ubisoft 4. That is also a key event of our teams and players, during which we showcase content that is very much aligned with our strategic focus on our two key verticals, open world adventures and gas native experiences. Gameplay we were presented for our two highly anticipated upcoming premium titles, Star Wars Outlaw and Assassin's Creed Shadow, was not only praised by players and critics alike, but also highlighted the cutting-edge capabilities of our game engines. We also presented a strong pipeline of content that will continue to feed our live titles. Just remember, folks, Suicide Squad kills the Justice Leagues. Everyone was busting a nut that they made all these pre-orders and stuff, and then this is what happens when the French are involved. So the guy's just going on talking about how, like, well, we're excited about the future and confident in the sustained progress of our turnaround through the year. Despite the net books exceeding Ubisoft's internal predictions, investors and analysts were expecting even better results from the company. Following the company's fourth quarter earnings report earlier this year, Bloomberg's Daniel Zudic claimed the analysts were expecting an average of $408.7 million. That means the net books and sales were 22% lower than what the analysts initially expected. The company noted that it expects net bookings to bring around $544.5 million for the second quarter. It's probably safe to assume that analysts were expecting higher sale numbers given Star Wars Outlaws released in August during the company's second quarter. Wait, is that game actually out? And I actually heard nothing about it, despite all this shit. Not praised, you delusional piece of excrement. Another factor that might have resulted in such a significant decline in the stock price following the earnings report is that Ubisoft delayed the release of Rainbow Six Mobiles and the Division Resurgence. The company explained they are no longer expected in FY25 as the teams are taking the necessary time to ensure that these experiences deliver on expectations with optimized KPIs and the extent of a demanding yet very large market. And then what do you guys make of the Ubisoft stock plummeting? Hilarious. Again, see, all they care about is that beginning number. That's all they care about in the end, because this is what the video games companies do. This is also why I feel that they're trying to push this lie that digital is going to just boot out physical media. It's because, all of the people are going digital route. And it's like, well, yeah, because you're providing digital route, the only one, you go digital, we'll unlock the game. You can play an hour early, that early access that you want. You can't do that with physical unless game companies or game stores just go, okay, we'll just give you the game now, even though technically it's supposed to release around this time. And then we saw it with Suicide Squad and The Last of Us Part 2. Everyone busted it up. It sold all these games and won all these awards, XYZ. Last of Us Part 2, most return game to the point that GameStop said we're not accepting anymore. Suicide Squad, down the shitter. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. These numbers mean nothing. And this is what I'm afraid of too, and we kind of saw that with the Tomb Raider Remastered, is now companies could lie and say, yeah, we won't censor anything. They'll put the stupid warning trigger and stuff, and then once people buy everything, they'll do an update, and then, oops, and then try to censor whatever. And then if someone catches it, it's like, oops, no, that was just an error. We were fixing something, and it just got cut up in the code. Sorry. That's what I'm worried about companies doing. That is what I'm worried about. And to think I was once considering on trying out the Division. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But, I mean, yeah, we read a lot of, bad news in terms of being pissed off, but funny stuff that the companies are reaping what they sow. Let's see if we can find a good thing. Let's see if we can end on a positive note, you know? Let's see, that Park Place. Let's go back to Niche Gamer. I like Niche Gamer. Did you hear of John Del Arrows attacking geeks and gamers? Guy is really losing his mind. I even heard he was kicked out of Bounding into Comics. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. I don't care if you're gay or not. If they're not pushing the woke ideology, who cares? Oh yeah, this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Naruto collab comic announced. I'm iffy about it, but that seemed interesting. Bethesda Game Studios becomes first fully unionized Microsoft game studio? Huh? The employees of Bethesda Game Studios, maker of the latter Fallout series, Starfield, which sucked. I never played it, but it looked terrible. And Elder Scrolls have fully unionized themselves as one BGS, a first for a major American game studio. The name Bethesda Game Studios Union, officially titled One BGS, is an affiliate with the Communication Workers of America. CWA calls One BGS the first wall-to-wall union at a Microsoft game studio, as it encompasses artists, designers, engineers, and programmers alike. Bethesda's Montreal studio have already unionized last June, as well as 30 quality assurance workers for ZeniMax, Bethesda's parent company. A majority of developers at Bethesda Game Studios Dallas, Rockville, and Austin are ecstatic to announce the formation of our union with CW Union, the group said on X. Together as one BGS USA, we advocate for the betterment of every developers in BGS, settling the new standards for their industry. But how is that possible if this is in Texas? Texas is a right-to-work state. Microsoft has yet recognized the union, but it's apparently ready for negotiations, as the employees of Activision Blizzard have also formed a union without any objections for Microsoft, and ZeniMax Employees Union has been already recognized by Microsoft. Okay, so they recognize it, but they haven't negotiated anything. Then why are you saying that? I don't know. Mind if I send that Senkaku Complex article of Terry's new look? Well, we're going to be winding down here, but you can send it over, yeah. Here's your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Naruto collab. IDW Publishing and Viz Media are collaborating with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Naruto, bringing two ninja franchises together for a crossover comic. The design isn't too terrible. Harry Prestella and Raul Angulio will draw the comic with Caleb Goldliner as head writer and Ed Dukeshire in charge of lettering. The comic will ship in November 13th. There's the look, of the cover. Well, if you're a Turtles fan and you like Naruto, there you go. Interesting. I wonder how they're going to tie that in. It's the coolest ninja matchup you could have ever dreamed of. Had you dare, Heroes and a Half shall meet the host of the Nine-Tailed Fox in the crossover everyone will be talking about. When teenage reporter April O'Neil has a clandestine meeting with Tsunade, the leader of the Hidden Leaf Village. What? That looks horrid. I mean, I'm not off by it, but that's how they're going to bring it. They're just already in Naruto's universe. April O'Neil can just reach out and contact. Oh, okay. Well, we'll do this. So Street Fighter 6 called out for ugly Terry Bogard and Black Blue Mary. Capcom revealed a first look at Street Fighter 6 new guest character Terry Bogard from the Fatal Fury series at EVO 2024 this week, but Japanese fans were quick to point out how ugly he looked in the preview. Many also questioned a couple of background characters dressed as Joe Higashi and Blue Mary. Following the reveal, it didn't take long for Japanese users on Twitter to point out the uglification of Terry in Street Fighter 6. So you have that there. Yeah, he's got that mansion. Naruto and Shippuden gave you an ulcer. I didn't mind Naruto. I read Shippuden. Apparently, yeah. Yeah, they definitely Aged him up, that's for sure. I like TMNT when it's its original comic in the 2003 show. Look what they did to my boy. So here are some comments here. Is he supposed to be older? I guess that's what happens when you get with Street Fighter 6's sense of realism. The face modeling is terrible. Capcom sucks so hard. Who the fuck is this cosplaying Osan? I'm leaving the community. I'm worried about Mai now. Looks like someone else cosplaying Terry. They're going ham. That face. Ooh. Is that a skin for Ken? Terry doesn't have a jaw like that. LOL. How uncool. Looks like an old lady. Well, we were trying to end on a positive note. Heading off for now. Take care. No, thanks, Scotty. But there you go. All the more reason why Capcom needs to start listening to like people who actually care about gaming. Thought Mai was going to get ugly with the ugly stick, but I didn't expect Terry to get beat with it. Yeah, it's like, it's weird. It's like for women, you got to give them that man jaw and defeminize them and make them not sexy or anything like that because it's too revealing, divert the male gaze, and they need to look more trans, I guess. And then males, just make them older. And I don't know, also not youthful. It's the weirdest thing. Well, that's all I had for you today, folks. So thanks for hanging out. We were on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Kick. Let's go ahead. See if everyone's on tonight for old Monday. The WWW is their version of LOL. Ah. Makes sense. Oh. Let's see. We'll just call it for tonight. Thanks for everyone for hanging out. Make sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed my terrible butchering of Japanese names and my overall dyslexic reading. Always a fun time. Always fun. But yeah, don't worry, guys. There's always good stuff out there. We just got to find it. But right now, we got to weed out the bad first. And what better way to weed it out than to point at it and make fun of it and laugh at it. But thanks again, you guys. You guys have a good rest of your night. Take care. God bless. And if you want to support the show beyond just pushing the algorithms, we always have membership and subscription tiers. Maybe check it out. But I am humbled and blessed regardless of all your guys' support. I think Geeks and Gamers are live with Mario Kart. They might be, but I didn't see them on my list. I think I'm fine. I didn't see them, or they may have like redirect turned off or anything like that. You tried your best with the pronunciations, but I can do better. I can do better. But in any case, you guys have a good rest of your night. Take care. God bless. Catch you guys on the flip side. We'll be on tomorrow. Continuing bouncing between Supersonic Warriors 2, Dragon Ball, that would be Dragon Ball Z, Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, and now, because I got a new capture card, Beyond Good and Evil HD. So, yeah, take care. See you guys later. Peace.